Chapter 21. Can you stop being so stingy? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Why is it so damn cold? Ning plopped down in front of the fire, holding her small hands out to the flames. With her pursuers gone, Ning finally relaxed. Lin Moyu knew the sudden chill was because of the skeleton warriors. He immediately sent them scattering. Ning knew Lin Moyu wasn't much of a talker, so she just started chattering. I found a chance treasure chest in the Cayman Orc Legion camp near Shanghai City. You know those things pop up randomly, right? I just happened to stumble on it. I opened it and got this mid-level skill scroll. Then, of course, those losers had to see it. They wanted to snatch it. I mean, it's not worth a ton, but no way I'm handing over something this girl finally got her hands on. So they chased me, and I ran. 2 days I've been running, all the way from Shanghai City to Shihai City. Aren't they annoying, like gnats? From Ningyi's tone, you could tell even a skill scroll worth 10 million gold coins wasn't a big deal to her. Who is this girl, anyway? She's loaded. Lin Moyu looked at Ningyi, waiting for her to run out of steam before quietly saying, you almost bought it back there. Ningyi waved a hand. Don't worry, I can't die. When I'm about to get killed, I teleport out. But still, thanks for the save. If you hadn't shown up, I might have gotten hurt, even if I didn't die. And getting hurt sucks. He hates pain. Okay, so Lin Moyu didn't need to worry, she's got safety nets stacked on safety nets. Ningyi held out her hand. I gave you the skill scroll, so, anything to eat? I'm still hungry. Lin Moyu pulled out a few steamed buns. They were part of his loot, and he had a dozen or so. Ningyi wrinkled her nose. Nah, not buns. I want sweet potatoes. Lin Moyu couldn't help but smile, and swapped the buns for sweet potatoes. Not bad, I guess. This girl doesn't want to eat food that's been in dead people's pockets. Ningyi happily took the sweet potato and started munching. Were they that good? The way she was eating, you'd think it was the best thing ever. Hey, Lin, nerd, you grinding levels. Judging by your level, you're probably not in college yet. Ningyi asked between bites. Lin Moyu nodded. Nope. Ningyi was getting used to Lin Moyu's laconic style. So which college are you planning on going to? Xiajing Academy, Lin Moyu mumbled. Cool. Xiajing Academy is great. Ningyi didn't seem surprised. In her mind, someone as strong as Lin Moyu could get into any school he wanted. Who else could solo 3 level 20 pros at level 10? If he couldn't get into Xiajing Academy, nobody could. Ningyi perked up, her eyes shining. If you go to Xiajing Academy, you gotta challenge their god, Shada. Especially the first time you challenge, the reward doubles. Try to rush as high as you can, the higher the better. You get more points that way. Points are worth more than gold coins at Xiajing Academy. Also, there's a school of creative theology there. If you can, you should definitely check it out. Ningyi seemed to know Xiajing Academy inside and out, and gave Lin Moyu the lowdown. By the time she was done, Lin Moyu had a pretty good overview of the place. 99% of the time, Ningyi was talking, Lin Moyu was listening, and occasionally grunting in response. Finally, Ningyi wound down. Lin Moyu took a piece of clothing and used it as a blanket for Ningyi, while he started meditating. The next day dawned bright and sunny. Lin Moyu was refreshed, waking up from his meditation. Ningyi was staring at him, wide-eyed. Any sweet potato left? Ningyi grinned and held out her hand. Lin Moyu pulled out a sweet potato and gave it to her. Not enough. More. Lin Moyu got out another. Can you stop being such a cheapskate? It's just sweet potatoes. Live a little. Fine, fine. A big man should be generous. Hand em all over. Lin Moyu handed over pretty much all 20-some sweet potatoes, leaving none for himself. Seriously? All gone? Ningyi looked suspicious, like she wanted to search his inventory herself. Lin Moyu nodded. Really? All gone. Ningyi gave up. Okay, I believe you. Alright, I'm out of here. Gotta level up, too. See you later, Lin nerd. Hurry up and level up. Then you can help me level up later. Ningyi left as quickly as she'd arrived, taking the sweet potatoes and the makeshift blanket with her. After she was gone, Lin Moyu murmured to himself, I'll take you to level up later. After a whole night, the goblin monsters still hadn't reappeared. The respawn rate was far slower than Lin Moyu had expected. He figured it was because he'd been too efficient. There was a faint smell of blood in the forest. 3 bodies lay on the ground. Lin Moyu looked at the corpses and silently used the skill he'd just learned yesterday. Corpse burst. With a deafening boom, trees were shredded for yards around, and not just shredded. Pulverized. A crater 20 meters across appeared. In the ground, easily 10 meters deep, the power was insane. Lin Moyu realized that the damage radius of corpse burst was a full 360 degrees. So, the volley detonation might be even stronger. He'd just blown up the mage's corpse. He ordered the skeleton warriors to throw the archer's body into the air, then he unleashed his skill on the corpse mid-flight. Another deafening blast, even more powerful than before, confirming his suspicion. Exploding in the air was definitely stronger. However, corpse burst had a downside. It was easy to hit your own allies. He and the skeleton warriors were immune to the damage, but he wasn't so sure about any teammates he might have. Chapter 22, The Divine Skill of Destroying Corpse and Destroying Traces. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Another explosion shook the forest as the knight's body went up in smoke. They were completely obliterated, leaving no trace. You have to admit, that corpse-bursting skill is top-notch for covering your tracks. Lin Moyu headed towards the West Sea mine, just like he planned. That's where the goblin lair is. The closer he got to the mine, the tougher the goblins became. Level 12 goblin warriors and level 13 goblin archers started popping up, but they were no match for his supercharged skeleton warriors. After meditating overnight, Lin Moyu summoned 4 more skeleton warriors. That brought his total up to 48. Now that his summoned skeleton warrior skill was level 10, the black iron skeletons had leveled up to bronze, but the mental strain was getting intense. Each summon now cost him 70 points of mental power. Lin Moyu only had 300 points total, so, just like before, he could only summon 4 at a time. Still, Lin Moyu was stoked. He wasn't in a rush to fill up his summoning space. It would happen eventually. As he neared the entrance to the West Sea Mine dungeon, the crowd started to thicken. The path to the dungeon was pretty much cleared of monsters. Soon, Lin Moyu spotted the entrance. It was a vortex, similar to the one for the newbie dungeon, but way bigger. The newbie vortex was maybe 1.5 feet across. This one was over 3 feet in diameter. A wave of bloodlust rolled out of the vortex. It was enough to scare the pants off anyone who was easily spooked. Normal difficulty. Need 1 more, looking for a healer. Normal mode, got mages and healers, need a knight. Elite team for the mine dungeon, nightmare difficulty. Got knights, mages, assassins, need a healer and crowd control. Nightmare difficulty, guaranteed win team. Need a knight, need a healer, basically need everyone. People were waving flags and shouting, trying to recruit teammates. Others were huddled around the entrance, deep in discussion. Lin Moyu strolled towards the dungeon entrance, 1 skeleton warrior in tow. He'd stashed the rest of his skeletons back in the summoning space. Their passive skill still worked, even when they were stowed away. Lin Moyu wasn't worried about his safety. Click. Click. The skeleton warrior's bones crunched with every step. It was enough to make your teeth ache. The soul fire in its skull flickered, dropping the temperature a few degrees with each gust of wind. The skeleton warrior was seriously creepy, and Lin Moyu's arrival caused a stir. People scrambled out of his way, giving him a wide berth. Lin Moyu reached the entrance and checked out the dungeon info. It wasn't a real dungeon. Not a newbie leveling spot like the first one. The mine dungeon didn't have a high level cap. There were only normal and nightmare difficulties. No hell mode. Even normal difficulty was packed with elite monsters, way tougher than anything outside. Nightmare difficulty was just souped up elite monsters, making it even harder. Normal difficulty usually meant a 3-person team, a tank, a DPS, and a healer. Nightmare needed a 5-person squad, with dual support and dual damage dealers. That gave you an idea of the jump in difficulty. The skeleton warrior stood silently beside Lin Moyu. Not moving a muscle. Finally, someone worked up the nerve to talk to him. "Hey, kid, you a summoner?" Lin Moyu ignored him. Someone cast a detection spell on him and the skeleton warrior. Suddenly, a red light flared in the skeleton warrior's empty eye sockets, and it glared at the caster. The guy jumped back like he'd been burned. The detection spell failed, revealing no information. Lin Moyu was wearing the shield badge Ning Yi had given him. Anyone more than 10 levels below him couldn't read his stats with detection magic. Lin Moyu didn't tell the skeleton warrior to do anything. It was just a detection spell, no big deal. "Yo, summoner, wanna hit the dungeon with us? We need some extra DPS. Summoners can put out some serious damage. You wanna team up? We're an elite team, running nightmare difficulty. We'll split the loot evenly." People were starting to realize Lin Moyu wasn't messing around, and they were lining up to recruit him, but Lin Moyu kept ignoring them. After checking the dungeon info, he selected nightmare difficulty. Confirm nightmare difficulty. Confirm. Lin Moyu was teleported into the dungeon. He went in. He went in alone. No way, he's soloing. What a show-off. Hey, maybe he's got the skills to back it up. Some people can pull it off. The dude who used the detection spell, spill the beans. What level is he? What's his class? Yeah, and those undead he summons, I've never seen anything like them. The guy who tried to use the detection spell looked sheepish. I didn't get anything. He's got a shielding item equipped. Alright, let's see if he makes it out alive. Could be all bark and no bite. Looks scary, but might be a total noob. Outside the dungeon, people were settling in for a good show. Every year, tons of arrogant players bit the dust in the dungeons. The mine dungeon lived up to its name. The terrain inside really was like a mine. The air was heavy and oppressive, thick with the metallic tang of blood. Lin Moyu stood before a massive iron door. Opening it meant the dungeon had officially begun. Behind the iron gate, a monster over 6 feet tall roared, already sensing Lin Moyu's presence. If Lin Moyu dared to open that door, it would charge out and tear him to pieces. Chapter 23 No Enhanced Skills, Knowledge Blind Spots. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Moyu cast Detect through the iron gate, ***, Goblin Mine Guard, Enhanced Elite, ***, level ***14, power *800, agility *400, spirit *200, physique *1000, skill stun attack. That's what I expected from an enhanced elite. Its stats are way higher than regular monsters. It's strong and tough, with high attack power and defense. A level 14 knight, for example, would only have physique between 300 and 400, no match for this guy. You'd need a coordinated team to take down this nightmare dungeon. Still, its stats are nothing compared to my skeleton warriors. Lin Moyu summoned his skeletons. Instantly, the room was packed with them. Then, he opened the gate and officially began his dungeon run. The Goblin Mine Guard roared and charged out, only to be met with the broadswords of the skeleton warriors. It was bigger and bulkier than the skeletons, but it was also slow and dumb. The skeleton warriors' blades landed, inflicting gruesome wounds. The goblin wouldn't stand a chance against even one skeleton warrior in a straight fight, let alone a whole mob. 5 or 6 skeletons hacked at it relentlessly. It fell in seconds, letting out a final scream, ***, killed level 14 Goblin Mine Guard, experience plus 4,200, Lin Moyu felt a jolt of excitement. The experience payout was 10 times better than killing monsters of the same level outside. It was like getting 10 kills for one, and just as fast. This was definitely the fastest way to level up. He issued his orders. The skeleton warriors clattered into the dungeon tunnels, an unstoppable army on the move, ***, killed level 14 Goblin Mine Guard, experience plus 4,200, ***, obtained bone x5, *******, killed level 14 Goblin Mine Guard, experience plus 4,200, *******, obtained fur x6, *****. Messages popped up constantly. Experience soared, and his material stash grew. A detailed map of the mine was forming in Lin Moyu's mind. It was a network of tunnels spreading in every direction. No matter which path you took, you'd eventually reach the end. Most teams would pick a single tunnel and go. But Lin Moyu was different. His skeletons were in every tunnel, clearing every corner, leaving no monster alive. Just 5 minutes after entering the dungeon, Lin Moyu leveled up. Finally, level 11. His spirit was fully restored, and he summoned 4 more skeleton warriors, bringing his total to 56, *****, name, Lin Moyu, *****, class, Necromancer, unique, *****, level, 11, 0%, *****, power, 120, *****, agility, 120, spirit, 40 out of 400, physique, 120, equipment, none, summoning capacity, 56/110, skeleton warriors, quantity, 56, talent, comprehensive amplification, level 2, unique, passive skill, damage transfer, active skills, soul flame, level 11, summon. Skeleton warrior, level 11, corpse explosion, level 1, comprehensive amplification, level 2 amplifies the effects of all skills by 20x. Damage transfer, all damage taken by the caster is transferred to the summoned units. Soul flame, level 11 burns the target's soul, dealing damage. Power is determined by the caster's spirit and skill level. Summon skeleton warrior, level 11 summons a bronze rank skeleton warrior. Corpse explosion, level 1 detonates a corpse, dealing damage equal to 10% of the corpse's HP to enemies within 1 meter. He checked his stats. After level 10, the attribute gains are much bigger. I used to get 10 points for strength, agility, and physique per level, but now it's 20. And spirit went up by 100. These gains are just gonna keep growing as I level up. The skills had improved too. The skeleton stats were now 3400. Each skeleton got a boost of 20 on the attribute, then 20x due to amplification. Big number. Everything was playing out pretty much as expected, except the corpse explosion skill. It was still at level 1. Why? Lin Moyu frowned. Why did Soul Flame and Summon Skeleton Warrior improve, but not Corpse Explosion? He couldn't figure it out. It was something he didn't know about and never encountered. If Ningyi were here, she'd probably know. Lin Moyu thought of Ningyi, the bubbly girl who loved to talk and was always full of random trivia. She knew a lot more than he did. He should ask her if he got the chance. He shelved the question and kept moving deeper into the dungeon. The mine had 8 interconnected tunnels like a maze, but they all eventually led to the same place. Lin Moyu spread his skeletons evenly throughout the tunnels, making sure no monster escaped. The experience kept flowing, pushing him closer to the next level. This was way faster than grinding outside. By the time he reached the end of the tunnel system, it was completely cleared. Level 11, 32.22%, almost a third of the way to level 12. And it had taken less than half an hour. The experience was insane. Chapter 24 Mine Wolf King, Elite Leader. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After navigating the maze-like mine tunnels, you enter the second part of the dungeon. Before you stretches a massive, kilometer-long passage. Lining both sides are what look like prison cells. Huge iron gates guard each cell, and from within come the echoing roars of beasts and a mixture of bloodlust and a sharp, fishy odor. A colossal monster blocks the path. It resembles a wolf or dog, but even lying down, it's over a meter tall. Standing, it would easily tower over 3 meters, its body stretches over 5 meters in length. The detection spell identifies it. Mine Wolf King, Elite Leader, Level, 15. Power, 2000. Agility, 2000. Spirit, 1000. Physique, 2500. Skill, Roar. This is Lin Moyu's first encounter with a boss-level monster, and an elite one at that. While its stats still don't match the Skeleton Warrior, it's significantly stronger than ordinary enemies. If a mini-boss has stats like this, the final boss must be insane. But it shouldn't be stronger than the Skeleton Warrior, otherwise this dungeon would be unbeatable. This is typical for a Nightmare difficulty dungeon. Usually, players capable of clearing Nightmare dungeons are already a few levels above the dungeon's recommended level. A solid team of 5 might average level 17 or 18, their equipment and skills would also need to be top-notch. Anything less, and the Nightmare dungeon is impossible. Lin Moyu clearing a Nightmare dungeon at level 10 is practically unheard of. The detection spell stirs the Mine Wolf King from its slumber. It slowly rises, its massive, 5-meter frame unfolding. Lin Moyu and the Skeleton Warrior barely reach its legs. The crimson-eyed wolf stares down at Lin Moyu, radiating pure bloodlust. A wave of oppressive energy washes over him. Attack! Lin Moyu commands. 56 skeletons surge towards the Mine Wolf King like a tidal wave. The Mine Wolf King unleashes a ferocious roar, triggering its skill. A powerful shockwave erupts from its maw. The first 30 or so skeletons are sent flying, the mine walls shudder, and gravel rains down. Lin Moyu, standing dozens of meters away, feels the force and is visibly surprised. This is an area of effect attack with a knockback effect. It's the first time he's seen skeletons get launched like that. The scattered skeletons slam into the walls, looking somewhat worse for wear. Lin Moyu remains calm. He can tell that they were merely knocked back. They didn't sustain serious damage. Their 3400 physique is no joke. The skeletons' defenses are incredibly tough. They quickly regain their footing and charge back at the Mine Wolf King. The cracks from the initial attack heal almost instantly. Their soul fires burn bright. Use your skills. Furious blow. The skeletons who weren't blown away have already reached the Mine Wolf King, hacking at it with their red glowing greatswords. Blood spurts, flesh tears, and bone gleams beneath the wounds. The Wolf King howls in pain. Many skeletons leap onto the Mine Wolf King, their swords crackling with red energy. The scene echoes the one Lin Moyu witnessed during his class change. This is how the skeletons brought down the dragon. The Mine Wolf King isn't as gigantic or as powerful as a dragon. The skeleton's attack power is actually higher, and each blow inflicts serious damage. The Mine Wolf King thrashes wildly, slamming its massive body against the mine walls in an attempt to dislodge the skeletons clinging to it, but the skeleton's claws grip its flesh, refusing to let go. The skeletons on the ground also hound it, hacking at its legs. The great swords clang against bone, and the Wolf King howls relentlessly. Its claws swipe at the skeletons, sending them flying with tremendous force. But the skeletons are barely injured and quickly return to the fray. It tries to bite, but its teeth shatter against the skeleton's tough hides. The skeleton's 3400 physique makes them incredibly durable. Being big doesn't mean anything if you can't take a hit, Lin Moyu observes. The Wolf King's size grants it strength and a sense of intimidation, but that also becomes its weakness. If its defense isn't strong enough, it can't withstand the skeleton's relentless attacks. The outcome is inevitable. In seconds, the Wolf King is near death. Roar. Another deafening roar. The Mine Wolf King activates its skill again. This time, it throws everything it has into it. The knockback effect of the roar skill reaches its maximum potential. The shockwave sweeps through, finally dislodging every skeleton clinging to its body. Even the skeletons further away are sent tumbling. The skill's damage is mediocre, but the knockback is impressive. Lin Moyu watches the skeletons flying like ragdolls, expressionless. The skill may look impressive, but the skeletons didn't take much damage. As expected, they roll to their feet and charge back. One by one, the Mine Wolf King suddenly whirls around and limps down the passage. It's trying to escape. Chapter 25 Instant Kill. Currently the strongest group attack skills. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Moyu was caught off guard. The dungeon boss was actually trying to escape. The Mine Wolf King bolted down the tunnel, howling as it ran, as if answering its call. Wolves howled back from deeper within the passage. Something felt off. Instead of sending the skeleton warrior after it, Lin Moyu had it retreat to his side. Crunch. Crunch. With a loud roar, iron doors on either side of the passage swung open, and a pack of bloodthirsty wolves poured out. Mine Wolf. Level 14. Power 600. Agility 600. Spirit 200. Physique 1000. Skill Bite. Lin Moyu used his detection skill and instantly knew everything about them. Their stats weren't that impressive, even weaker than the Goblin mine guards. But there were tons of them, hundreds at least. The sheer number of wolves charging forward was enough to make anyone's skin crawl. But Lin Moyu wasn't worried. Even though there were a lot of them, their stats were weak, and his skeleton warriors could handle them. But then a thought struck him: how would other teams deal with this many wolves? He couldn't imagine a standard 5-person team taking on this many. Looking around at the tunnel, the answer came to him. The tunnel entrance was narrow, allowing only one person through at a time. The knight could hold the line while the healer kept them alive. Then the mage could use area of effect spells to thin the herd. It would take some time, but they could wipe them out eventually. Lin Moyu figured that's how other teams would handle it. What he didn't know was that they wouldn't encounter nearly as many wolves. Usually, it was only a dozen or so. This was because he'd cleared out all the other monsters in the mine. It was Lin Moyu's first time in this dungeon, and he didn't know the mechanics. That kind of information wasn't in any of the guides, but even if he had known, he still would have cleared out all the monsters. Why pass up all that sweet experience? As for the difficulty, it wasn't difficult for him. Since entering the dungeon, he'd barely even broken a sweat. To him, these wolves were just walking experience points. The skeleton warriors formed a tight circle around Lin Moyu, protecting him. The wolves surged forward, slamming into the skeleton warriors. They bit and clawed, but their attacks barely scratched the surface. Their attack power simply wasn't high enough to do any real damage. Once all the wolves had engaged, Lin Moyu made his move. 5 of the skeletons focused their attacks on a single wolf. Flesh and fur flew. 5 skeletons stabbing at once was too much for the wolf, and it collapsed to the ground in a matter of seconds. Killed. Level 14 Mine Wolf. Experience plus 2800. Received Wolf Pelt 3. Lin Moyu smirked, and a glow appeared in his palm. Corpse explosion. With a deafening bang, the wolf's body detonated. The damage was 10% of the wolf's health. The explosion radius was 1 meter, but then his talent amplified it 20 times. Now, every enemy within 20 meters took damage equal to 200% of the corpse's health. Basically, the wolves were taking a hit equal to twice their own health. No wolf could survive that. Instant kill, no doubt about it. Killed. Level 14 Mine Wolf. Experience plus 2800. Acquired Wolf Fur 2. Killed. Level 14 Mine Wolf. Experience plus 2800. Obtained Bones 3. Killed. Level 14 Mine Wolf. Experience plus 2800. Acquired Wolf Fur 4. The notifications flooded his screen. His experience bar shot up like a rocket. In the blink of an eye, it went from 32% to 72%, 1 attack, 40% experience. The leveling speed was insane. Lin Moyu was speechless. Corpse explosion was ridiculously powerful. He didn't know if it compared to high-level mage spells, but at this level, it was practically unstoppable. Just then, the Mine Wolf King limped back, its eyes wide with terror. How did its pack die so quickly? What was that explosion? It couldn't wrap its head around it. Right then, it stepped on several wolf corpses. Treat everyone equally. Let's try this too. Lin Moyu's eyes turned cold, and his palm glowed. Corpse explosion. Boom, boom, boom. 3 explosions ripped through the area. The Wolf King screamed in agony. Most of its flesh was gone, exposing bone. Some bones were even broken. With a final whimper, the Wolf King's huge body crashed to the ground. It was already badly injured, and this was more than it could handle. Killed. The level 15 Mine Wolf King. Experience plus 15,000. Acquired Sharp Wolf King Fangs. Obtained low-level Monster Crystal Core. Only 15,000 experience. That's a ripoff. For a boss, 15,000 experience wasn't much, it was only equivalent to the experience of 5 regular wolves, but with bosses, it wasn't about the experience, it was about the loot. The Wolf King fangs were a valuable weapon crafting material, and the crystal core could be used to make attribute-boosting jewelry. Crystal cores only dropped from bosses, and even then, it wasn't guaranteed. That's what kept their prices so high. Chapter 26, The King of Goblins, Frightened. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Walking down the aisle, the stench was overwhelming. Lin Moyu instinctively covered his nose. Every iron gate in the long passage, stretching for about a kilometer, stood open, the rooms inside empty. The ferocious wolves had been completely wiped out, leaving nothing behind. At the end of the passage yawned a massive mine pit. It was easily over a kilometer across, a black void swallowing all light. A spiraling path led down into the darkness, swarming with goblin monsters clad in armor and wielding huge knives. They patrolled the passage in pairs. Elite Goblin Warrior, Enhanced Elite Monster, level, 15. Power, 900. Agility, 800. Spirit, 400. Physique, 900. Their stats were far below the boss, none even breaking 1,000. Lin Moyu wasn't worried. With a wave of his hand, his skeleton army charged into the mine. The enhanced elite monsters were no match for the wave of skeletons, falling one after another. Killed level 15 Goblin Elite Fighter, experience plus 4,500. Obtained animal bones 6, notifications flashed across his vision. Lin Moyu ordered a free-for-all, quickly clearing out the mine. Even though they were enhanced elite monsters, they gave great experience and plenty of materials, surprisingly high quality stuff. Compared to the regular monsters outside, they were way more efficient to grind. If I ever solo a hell-level dungeon, this would be good experience. Anyone who heard Lin Moyu's thought would probably laugh in his face. No one in the history of humanity had ever soloed a hell-level dungeon. Some legends had managed nightmare-level dungeons alone, earning themselves a place in the history books, but soloing hell-level? That was just a pipe dream. People had tried, but they never came back. Lin Moyu continued down the passage, his skeleton army cleaning up the monsters along the way. By the time he reached the bottom of the pit, his experience bar was at 99%. He was 1 kill away from leveling up. Only the final boss remained. Taking it down should get me to level 12. It had only taken him a little over an hour to get this far, leveling up more than once, way better than he expected. At this rate, a few nightmare runs and he'd be at level 16, or even 18 or 19, with the levels he would need. Getting into Xiaojing Academy was practically guaranteed. Sis, we'll see each other soon. Thinking of Lin Moyu allowed himself a rare smile. The mine's big boss sat in the center of the pit, its enormous maw gulping air. Its breathing was like thunder, echoing through the empty space. Each inhale and exhale stirred up miniature hurricanes. Lin Moyu almost lost his footing. The boss seemed oblivious to the outside world. It was almost in a trance, but it was only asleep. The detection skill brushed over it like a gentle breeze. Goblin King, leader level monster, level 16. Power, 3,000. Agility, 1,500. Spirit, 1,500. Physique, 3,000. Skills, Flame Jet, Sweep, Knockback. Its stats weren't that much higher than the Mine Wolf King, just a bit stronger in strength and physique. Lin Moyu even thought his skeleton warriors could take it on one-on-one. The detection woke it up, and its eyes slowly opened, fixing on Lin Moyu. It roared and leaped to its feet, wielding a giant sword. It swung down towards Lin Moyu's head. The massive blade fell with terrifying force, but Lin Moyu didn't flinch. His gaze was steady. Even a bit mocking, the seemingly fatal blow stopped dead just centimeters from his head, as if an invisible force was holding the blade back. Damage transfer. Any damage Lin Moyu took would be absorbed by his summoned creatures. Lin Moyu frowned. He could feel that all his skeleton warriors were taking damage. Their soul fires flickered violently, and the light in their bodies dimmed. Thin cracks spiderwebbed across their bones. What? Lin Moyu was surprised, a bit puzzled. He was rarely taken aback, not even when the blade was hurtling toward him or when he killed those 3 people last night. To him, killing monsters was no different from killing people. It wasn't that he was cold-blooded, it was what Lin Moyu told him. stay calm, no matter what, only calmness could guarantee survival in dangerous situations. He retreated as the skeleton warriors charged the Goblin King, protecting him, furious blow. The skeletons unleashed their skills, powerful attacks landing on the Goblin King and dealing huge damage. For a moment, the Goblin King was overwhelmed. Naturally, it changed targets, turning to attack the skeleton warriors. Lin Moyu stepped back, trying to figure out what just happened. The effect of damage transfer was to shift the damage he took to his summons, split evenly between them. Then he understood. The reason the skeletons were all injured at the same time, and so badly, was because he was weak, only 120 points of physique, terrible defense. How much damage would he take from a strike by a Goblin King with 3,000 strength? The transferred damage was based on him, ignoring the skeleton's defenses. That damage was then passed on to the skeletons, injuring them all. If that sword had hit a skeleton directly, it wouldn't have taken nearly as much damage. So I'm the weak link. Guess I'll focus on physique from now on. The stronger my defense, the stronger my summons will be. Chapter 27, I am the biggest weakness. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Moyu got it. The biggest problem with his skeleton army? Himself. A smart enemy wouldn't bother with the skeletons. They'd come straight for him. That'd be a problem. Damage transfer isn't a cure-all. Now that he knew the weakness, Lin Moyu would figure out how to compensate. The Goblin King, now a bloody mess, stood 6 or 7 meters tall, with skeleton warriors clinging to his shoulders, back, chest, even his head. A sudden burst of light, a violent leap, and a crash to the ground. The roar shook off every skeleton warrior. Even the ones on the ground were sent flying. Skill, knockback. The Goblin King's eyes glowed, and he unleashed a torrent of flames. The skeleton warriors caught in the blast started to crumble. Lin Moyu knew their life force was draining fast. They were done for. Instantly, he recalled the 4 skeletons back to the summoning space. The Goblin King kept blasting flames, keeping the remaining skeletons at bay. Gotta shut down that skill. A flame flickered to life in Lin Moyu's palm. Soul Flame. The flame silently landed on the Goblin King's head. A terrifying scream ripped from the Goblin King's throat, cutting off the fire stream. Soul Flame bypasses defense, attacking the mind directly. The damage depends on the skill level and mental strength. Lin Moyu's mental strength was only 400, and the skill was only level 11, but with the 20x boost, the Soul Flame packed a serious punch. The skeleton warriors swarmed, attacking with everything they had. Lin Moyu kept hammering the Goblin King with Soul Flame, disrupting his skills. A minute later, the Goblin King finally crashed to the ground, defeated. Killed the Goblin King, experience plus 40,000. Obtained a bronze weapon, Goblin King's dagger. Obtained bronze armor, robe of knowledge. Obtained the Goblin King's crystal core. As the notification popped up, Lin Moyu was bathed in the light of leveling up. Finally, level 12, a little over an hour in the nightmare dungeon, and he'd gained more than a level. Talk about efficient. Lin Moyu checked his loot. Goblin King's dagger, bronze, strength plus 10, dexterity plus 10, assassin skills plus 3%, requires level 12. Robe of knowledge, bronze armor, spirit plus 10, constitution plus 10, mage skill cooldown minus 5%, requires level 12. The dagger was useless to him. He'd just stash it and sell it later. Necromancers gotta count as a mage, right? But my skills don't have cooldowns, so the robe's bonus is kinda wasted. Still, the spirit and constitution boost is nice. It was only level 12 gear. After all, can't expect too much. Lin Moyu threw on the robe of knowledge, getting a plus 10 to both spirit and constitution. Besides the gear, there was the Goblin King's crystal core. It was bigger and prettier than the low-level cores, ruby red, and radiating warmth. This one was definitely something special. He could trade it in for 100,000 gold back at the exchange. Lin Moyu was pleasantly surprised. The core was worth more than both pieces of gear combined. His mental power was fully restored after leveling up. Lin Moyu summoned 4 skeleton warriors. The summoning skill was now level 12, requiring 110 mental power per summon. Even with 510 mental power, he could still only summon 4, his level 12 bronze skeleton warriors had all their stats at 3,800, and there were 60 of them. He could walk all over this dungeon now. In high spirits, Lin Moyu headed for the exit. He reappeared right at the entrance. His appearance immediately turned heads. The skeleton warriors were a big draw. Their cold, evil aura and terrifying appearance made the more timid types look away. He made it out. Didn't think he'd survive. Think he really just ran the dungeon solo? Only a few players can solo that. This kid is probably full of it. Wait, check out his clothes. Isn't that a robe of knowledge? No way, it is. Can't believe I'm seeing someone who solos dungeons right here. Lin Moyu ignored the chatter. The dungeon was on a 12-hour cooldown. He'd had his fill of dungeons for now, and wasn't interested in farming wild monsters. The experience was garbage, and finding them was a pain. The 12-hour cooldown was perfect for meditation and reviewing his progress. Lin Moyu walked off to the side, found a quiet spot, and sat down. A skeleton warrior stood guard at his side, loyal and silent. This dungeon run was a turning point for him. He now knew his weaknesses, and he was learning how to use his skills. Corpse Burst, when timed right, was devastating. Soul Flame could shut down enemy skills, and its mind-bending damage hit hard. Even the Nightmare boss felt it. Lin Moyu organized his thoughts, cataloging his gains and losses. Chapter 28 Dynasty Guild, Goblin King Ring. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Moyu sat meditating, his skeleton warriors standing guard. A crowd of over 100 people milled around the dungeon entrance, but nobody dared approach him, mostly because his skeleton warriors were just too creepy. Good enough. He just needed to wait out the cooldown period. He could re-enter the dungeon in 12 hours. Meditation helped him recover his mental strength. Next time, he could summon 4 skeleton warriors again. As night fell, Lin Moyu finished meditating, his mental strength almost fully restored. Bonfires sprang up around the entrance, and people gathered, roasting meat. The aroma was intoxicating. Even more so with the added seasonings. These were seasoned adventurers, well prepared for a night out. In the field, unlike Lin Moyu, who'd only packed sweet potatoes, his stomach grumbled. He reached for a sweet potato, but then remembered he'd given them all to Ningyi. Thinking of her playful, cute face, he couldn't help but smile. Instead, he pulled out a steamed bun and began to eat. Hey, you want to come grab some grub? Someone waved him over. They were roasting some kind of meat that smelled amazing. It was a guy in his 20s, judging by his clothes, probably an assistant. Lin Moyu shook his head, politely declining. The guy didn't push it, just went back to his barbecue. I said, Wang Yi, why'd you invite him? Yeah, that's a weird dude. Hasn't said a word since he got here. And that undead summoner thing next to him is kind of scary. Wang Yi disagreed. I think he's alright. Just doesn't seem like a talker. Besides, he hasn't bothered anyone. I don't think he's as hard to get along with as you guys think. Wang Yi loaded up a plate with a big piece of barbecued meat and walked over to Lin Moyu. Hey man, have some meat. Just eating those buns can't be satisfying. Lin Moyu looked at him without saying anything. Wang Yi smiled kindly, set the plate in front of Lin Moyu, and went back to his group. A quick scan confirmed the meat was safe. Lin Moyu picked up the barbecue and took a bite. It tasted great, really flavorful. Wang Yi, a little ways off, held up another piece of meat to Lin Moyu with a friendly smile. For a moment, Lin Moyu was struck by how similar that smile was to Gao Yang's. After filling his stomach, Lin Moyu went back to meditating. With his skeleton warrior nearby, he didn't need to worry about his safety. Finally, the 12-hour dungeon cooldown was up, and Lin Moyu's mental power was completely restored. This time, I should be able to reach level 13. He stood and saw the dungeon entrance was packed. 2 groups seemed to be facing off. One group stood directly in front of the entrance, blocking it completely, preventing anyone from getting close. They wore matching uniforms and carried high-end weapons, looking like a small army. The other group consisted of the people who'd been outside the dungeon already. They were more numerous but looked disorganized, lacking the other group's coordinated presence. Your Dynasty Guild is being way too heavy-handed. Why won't you let us in the dungeon? Yeah, It's not like you own the place. Us going in won't affect you. People protested. Mage from the Dynasty Guild stepped forward. Our young leader is doing a quest in the dungeon. Nobody is allowed to enter until he's finished. Why should we listen to you? Your Dynasty Guild is so overbearing. The adventurers continued to complain, but nobody dared to take action. The Dynasty Guild was just too strong to mess with. Wang Yi was also in the protesting crowd, his friendly smile replaced by a look of anger. Lin Moyu walked over and stood next to him. What's going on? Wang Yi was surprised Lin Moyu had spoken to him. He lowered his voice and said, the young leader of the Dynasty Guild wants to do a quest in the dungeon, so nobody else is allowed in. Lin Moyu frowned. What kind of quest required blocking the whole dungeon? Wang Yi picked up on Lin Moyu's confusion. So, they need a Goblin King's crystal core. The drop rate on that thing is terrible. It only drops in the nightmare level dungeon, and then only once every 100 days. You probably saw that request on the exchange, right? The Dynasty Guild put it up themselves. But nobody's ever completed that task. I mean, the Goblin King's crystal core isn't like your average crystal core. It's worth at least 300,000 gold coins. They're offering 100,000. Who would sell it to them for that? It's been exactly 100 days since the last drop, so the Dynasty Guild is doing it themselves this time. What a coincidence, the Goblin King's crystal core, in his storage glowed as brightly as a ruby. The Dynasty Guild was bound to be disappointed. Lin Moyu had been planning on selling the Goblin King's crystal core for 100,000 gold coins in a couple of days, but now, hearing Wang Yi, he understood that the Goblin King's crystal core was special. What's it for? Lin Moyu asked quietly. An alchemist can use the Goblin King's crystal core to make a Goblin King ring. The Goblin King's ring increases all attributes by 10 and upgrades all skills by 1 level. It's usable at level 15 and is considered the strongest piece of jewelry below level 40. Those were some powerful buffs, especially the skill level boost, which was a godsend for new adventurers. Wang Yi continued, rumor has it, the young leader of the Dynasty Guild is trying to get into Xia Jing Academy, so he's determined to get his hands on this piece of equipment. The Dynasty Guild has plenty of alchemists, and they've already gathered the other materials. All they're missing is the Goblin King's crystal core. Knowing the whole story, Lin Moyu smiled and walked toward the dungeon entrance. He didn't care about any Dynasty Guilds. Nobody was going to stop him from leveling up. Chapter 29 Don #039, T Get Out of the Way, Die. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hey, what are you doing? Get back here, quick. The Dynasty Guild can't be messed with. Come back now, or you're gonna get yourself killed. Wang Yi was freaking out, trying to pull Lin Moyu back. Lin Moyu ignored him and kept walking. The protesters suddenly went silent, all eyes on Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu walked toward the dungeon entrance, his skeleton companion clicking along beside him. What do you think you're doing? The Dynasty Guild's lead mage glared at Lin Moyu. Behind him, a dozen guild members stared him down. They were all over level 20, and you could feel their power. Knights, warriors, mages, archers, and healers. A complete, well-oiled combat team, and they were decked out in bronze-level gear from head to toe. That's why, even though there were plenty of protesters, nobody dared to actually throw down. They were out-leveled, out-teamed, out-geared, and probably out-skilled. They were all bark and no bite. Lin Moyu stopped in front of the mage and said coolly, "Get out of the way." The Dynasty Guild mage acted like he'd heard the funniest joke ever. "Kid, are you drunk? Go home and sleep it off." Lin Moyu repeated, "Don't stop me from entering this dungeon, or I'll kill you." He meant every word. He needed to level up to get into Xiajing Academy. Anyone who got in his way was asking for trouble. The mage cast a detection spell on Lin Moyu, then he smirked. "Lin Moyu, you're just a level 12 punk mouthing off. Didn't your parents teach you any manners? Necromancer, huh? Never seen that class before. Is it new? The undead summon is kinda cool, I guess. For the sake of mage solidarity, I'll let you off with a warning this time. Now scram. The mage was more than 10 levels higher, so Lin Moyu's shield badge was useless. As soon as the mage revealed Lin Moyu's level, everyone knew he was basically a newbie, level 12. You barely even scratched the surface at that level. Wait a minute. Maybe Lin Moyu's class was something special. Lin Moyu returned the favor with a detection spell. The mage wasn't wearing a shield badge, so Lin Moyu got the full readout. Zhao Ji, level 25, mage. Not like the elemental mages, like Xia Shui, just a run-of-the-mill mage, a mid-tier player. Even though Zhao Ji was level 25, Lin Moyu wasn't impressed. Zhao Ji smirked, and the Dynasty guild members behind him joined in. Level 12. You're still wet behind the ears. Go home and play with your toys. This isn't the place for you, kid. You'll get yourself killed. Stick to hunting wild monsters for now. Dungeons are above your pay grade. Behind Lin Moyu, the protesters started warning him. Kid, get back here. The Dynasty Guild is ruthless. They'll really hurt you. Wang Yi yelled, bro, come back. We'll run the dungeon after they're gone. Lin Moyu ignored everyone. His voice turned icy. Last chance. Get out of my way, or die. Zhao Ji felt a shiver run down his spine. Those eyes. They were like looking into the abyss, but he quickly snapped back to reality. You little punk, you're asking for it. Take one more step, and I'll end you. Lin Moyu looked at Zhao Ji, a slight smile playing on his lips. Kill. Point one word, spoken softly. The skeleton warrior shot forward like lightning, appearing in front of the mage in a flash, blade raised. Zhao Ji chuckled, and a light blue energy shield flickered into existence around him. A level 12 newbie? You couldn't break my shield if I stood here and let you hit me. The skeleton warrior's blade slammed into the energy shield, which buckled violently, almost shattering. Zhao Ji's expression instantly changed. What kind of summon was this? The attack power was insane. His energy shield could withstand at least 5 hits from fighters of the same level, but against this skeleton warrior, it would be gone in 2 hits, max. Skill. Lin Moyu focused, and a blinding red light erupted from the skeleton warrior's blade. Furious blow. Zhao Ji was terrified. This summoned new skills. He felt the cold touch of death. That skill would shatter his shield and kill him in one shot. Ring of Fire. Zhao Ji activated his instant cast skill, unleashing a blast of fire that pushed the skeleton warrior back several meters. The skeleton warrior's skill was interrupted. What are you waiting for? Do something. Zhao Ji felt like he'd just stared death in the face. Pale and shaken, he barked out orders. A knight charged forward, shield raised, covering 10 meters in an instant and slamming into the skeleton warrior. Boom. The knight went flying, screaming. The skeleton warrior didn't even budge. In a straight-up strength contest, the skeleton warrior won unless they had a skill that could knock it back. Brute strength didn't work. The skeleton warrior charged again, intent on fulfilling Lin Moyu's order to kill Zhao Ji. Zhao Ji scrambled backwards, frantically reinforcing his shield while shouting, "Kill the summoner." The quickest way to deal with a summon was always to eliminate the source. If the summoner died, the summons would vanish. Boom. 2 archers fired simultaneously. The sharp arrows multiplied mid-air, becoming a volley aimed straight at Lin Moyu. Watch out! Get out of the way! Someone shouted from behind. Lin Moyu didn't flinch, his expression unchanged. Chapter 30. Why are there so many? You are listening at novelfull.audio. A dark portal opened in front of him, and 2 skeleton warriors materialized instantly, flanking him and intercepting the incoming volley of arrows. The arrows struck the skeletons with a metallic clang, but did no damage. Then, the skeleton warriors charged straight at the 2 archers. He can summon more than one. Zhao Ji's face darkened. He hadn't expected Lin Moyu to have multiple summons, though. Some summoners could have multiple summons. He knew one guy in their guild who had 4. Hold them off. Zhao Ji barked the order, and a knight stepped forward to block the skeletons. Safe for the moment, Zhao Ji raised his staff and pointed it at Lin Moyu, chanting a spell rapidly. taking out the summoner was better than just dealing with his summons. Dancing fire snake. A moment later, a fiery serpent shot from his staff and hurtled towards Lin Moyu. Crap, that's a level 20 mage skill, and a rare one at that. They say it's the strongest attack spell before your second class upgrade. Lin Moyu's in trouble now. Barely a third of mages ever learn it. Some of the onlookers were worried for Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu didn't flinch. Another portal opened in front of him. This time, 20 skeleton warriors emerged at once. 20 points of soulfire blazed in the night. The fire snake slammed into the skeletons, exploding in a shower of sparks. Undeterred, the 20 skeletons surged forward, attacking the Dynasty Guild members. Zhao Ji's face grew even darker. How can there be so many? 3 skeletons had been a surprise. 20 was something else entirely. They were outnumbered. Form up. Line formation. Fight. Zhao Ji was experienced and didn't panic. The Dynasty Guild clearly had been around the block. Their members were veterans, well coordinated. They snapped into formation, knights at the front, warriors, archers, and mages in the center providing fire support, with support specialists at the rear. In Zhao Ji's mind, although these summons were powerful, his team was better. Killing the skeletons would just take a little time. The team huddled together. The support specialists cast buffs on everyone: strength, agility, spirit enhancements, speed boost, energy shield, berserker's soul. Every buff they could cast, they did. In under 30 seconds, everyone was buffed to the max. It was a testament to their teamwork. Zhao Ji regained his confidence. They might be surrounded, but they'd been in worse spots. He was sure they'd come out on top. Just then, Lin Moyu raised his hand, glanced back at Wang Yi and the others, and said, "You guys, fall back." At this point, no one was going to argue with him. Who would have guessed he could take on a dozen Dynasty Guild members by himself? Everyone retreated, putting dozens of yards between themselves and the fight. Zhao Ji was puzzled, but didn't dwell on it. Then he saw a flicker of fire, followed by an archer's scream. The archer's health plummeted, and he was on the verge of death. Immediately, a healing spell landed on him, dragging him back from the brink. Lin Moyu had used soulfire, but failed to secure an instant kill. Their healer had reacted quickly. Zhao Ji broke out in a cold sweat, realizing Lin Moyu's class. Lin Moyu wasn't just a summoner. He was a necromancer. He was a summoner and a mage. Healers, heads up. Prioritize healing. The opponent can use attack magic. Zhao Ji yelled, making his team even more nervous. Who would have thought they'd be getting their butts kicked by one guy? Focus fire. Lin Moyu eyed the outermost knight, who was swarmed by skeletons. The knight was having a miserable time, tanking the attacks of over a dozen skeletons at once. The pressure was worse than fighting a raid boss. Even with constant healing, he was in pain and feared for his life. Following Lin Moyu's command, more attacks rained down. Then, a flame appeared above his head. Reacting on instinct, the knight activated his ultimate defense skill. A shimmering barrier enveloped him, mitigating some of the attacks, but the soulfire ignored his defenses and struck his soul directly. Even with his ultimate defense active, he screamed. Fortunately, the healer reacted quickly, casting healing spells. Under the relentless assault of the skeletons, the barrier faded rapidly. The ultimate defense, which should have lasted 40 seconds, was gone in 20. The instant the barrier vanished, Lin Moyu gave the order. Use your skills. At the same time, he unleashed soulfire again. The soulfire hit, and the knight screamed. A dozen crushing blows landed simultaneously. The healer couldn't keep up, and the knight was instantly killed. The defensive line was breached. Zhao Ji's face went white. Scatter. Lin Moyu shook his head. Too late. A skeleton tossed the knight's corpse into the air. Corpse explosion. There was a deafening boom. The knight's body detonated. Detonating in midair maximized the effect. Centered on the knight, everything within 60 feet took damage equal to 200% of his max HP. Knights were among the tankiest classes. Imagine doubling that health pool as damage. Zhao Ji heard a boom, and then nothing. Annihilation. The corpse explosion was a thunderbolt of destruction. Only charred corpses remained. Every member of the Dynasty Guild was dead. Items littered the ground. Lin Moyu didn't even look. He just gathered them up.